welcome to another episode of Ways to Better Living. As always, this is your host, Coolio, and today we're going to be discussing another topic that this one will be of talking about governments in the sense of politicians. This is where my heart led me today. So this is part 1. Now, mind you, this is a crucial topic. Reason B, the solution that I will end up give you will not be the solution everyone will be looking or expecting. Some might have an idea that that's where it's leading, but it will not be what you will say conclusive is the solution. Some might have already thought about that being the conclusion, but here, for those who already have that thought, this will be the confirmation of it. But before I move any further, as I always do, this is mainly we'll be dealing with the aspect of how you view these ones and what they tell you how you should view them and how they are actually viewed. So take note. 1, you have your own view of them. 2, they tell you the way you should view them. And 3, how they are to be viewed. And I'll mention this a few times now that I tell people. The reason B is why I'll make this as an example of why this is. It's just like any story you read about. There's the actual story. There's the story that the person will tell you. And there's the story you take from it. Always. That's 3. But the one that always stands is what? The actual story itself. So, do you view your government as to what they actually is than what they tell you they are or what you think they are? See where I'm heading now with this for you to understand. So now, for you to really understand where this is going, when you're done listening to this, I will give you this example so you compare as to what I'm saying. Think of any movie or any TV show that you like. Just choose one. If it's a movie, choose that one movie and watch it. And when you watch it, pay keen attention to what you're hearing and also from what you're seeing. Because those are 2 separate stories you're seeing at the same time. You're watching it and hearing it. So that's 2 stories that you're getting in that moment. And view your politician in that very light of how they present themselves to you and how you hear what they say. If it's a TV show, just choose one episode of that TV show and do the same thing in applying it. You might be wondering, why am I doing this? I'm doing it so you understand exactly the connection I'm making for you, so you could get the picture that's been painted for you, but you're not looking at the picture that's painted, and what you're hearing go conflict with the picture. And tendency is for the majority is what they see that they will take, not only what they hear. So which means what they hear just tickle their brain to accept what they see. And that is politics in your government wise, because every part of the world is politics these days. You have to, what they say, go vote them in. For this part of the world, America, it is the one thing that come election time, it's like the entire country goes dead. Every corner you go, all you hear is politics. Vote for this, vote for that, vote for blah, blah, blah. So now that I mentioned this one, for you to understand what politics really is, listen to what they say. Now forget about what you've seen. Listen to the things they say. Come election time, what do they always say? Your vote counts. By voting, you have a voice. And what else? By voting, you help make the change. So those three things today I'm dealing with like three at a time. Three things that you will constantly. Why I'm doing it on three? Because though I said I'm not gonna speak about God, but this particular one I have to mention just a glimpse of it, and then I'll get off it again. And this is the part I'll mention that you always, between humans, that connection for you and any individual, there's God in there. So why there's God? That's a three-sided. So in the sense, for you to connect with that person, if God is not in the mix, you will not connect with that person. So now that is said, now like I always do, I'm taking God back out the picture, so you don't say I'm here to talk about God. It's because that's what people don't want to hear about these days. But as I also mentioned, all these things I'm giving you, for you to be able to do it, apply it, and be successful, God has to be in the mix. That's all I'm saying. Now, let me continue. So, the three things I just mentioned about politics. By voting, you make a change. By voting, you have a voice. And what else? By voting, what do? You also show what? So those three things. I didn't say the last one. Don't think I didn't say it for a purpose and a reason, because I'm coming back to it. So three things they tell you about the politics. You have to go to the poll to make a change, to have a voice, and for you to what? In a sense, though all three saying the same thing, but they put it in that three ways for you. So what? You can be able to, your voice is the change. Your vote counts. So, let's come back for all the ones that been voting. how long you've been voting. You that go to the poll and always go crazy for the red or the blue if you're in the States. Even in Canada, it's the same thing, the red or the blue. So, now, if the two, red or blue, that's all you guys go crazy for to vote for. Now, look at what they say. That's what they tell you. Now, what do you see? Does your vote really count? Does your vote really make the change? Does your vote give you the voice? Now it is, like I said, I'm making it personal every time so that it is your choice. Do you see those three things happening every time you vote? No. Why? You hear about marketing scheme. You hear about fraudsters. They tell you what you want to hear so you could give them your money. Same thing with politics. The only difference is, with politics, you're giving them your life. Now, the next point I'm going to make, which a lot of people do not understand and never put to count. Whenever election time comes, it will be so many different parties, but it always comes down to two. And those two, like I mentioned earlier, the red or the blue. In Canada, is the conservative or the liberal. In the United States, is what they call it, Republican, and what I forget the other one because I'm not into politics, but I know the other one. But it's same. Like I'm just giving you the color so you know, because all this is based on the colors that I'm going to give you now, that I want to draw your attention to for majority of you that into this topic of conspiracy about politicians, governments, media, and entertainment. Now, let's bring it all back to the colors, as I mentioned. If you want that fixate on the hip-hop or / rappers that's out there that talks about the blood and the Crips, what color do they give you? Red and blue. No one ever point this to you, but I'm pointing it to you. Why? I want you to see the connection, so you actually see that these things are right in your face, but what you hear not making you connect it. So you hear the blood and the Crips. So blood, Crips, red and blue. Conservative, liberal in Canada, red, blue. In America, in the States, you got I gotta think of the name, but I mentioned the one earlier. See, because I don't focus on that, I don't like talking about those topics or keeping them in my head because it's not where my intentions and my goals are. But you that's in America, you already know them. You can probably say it faster than I can say it now. So, red and blue. And what do you connect? They said the rappers that in Crips don't like the Bloods. What do you see in politics? Same thing. So did they actually, when they tell you that these two don't get along, what did they do to each other when it comes to the entertainment world? They tell you they kill each other. And government, what do they do? So it's the same thing. They're giving you all there for you to see and for you to hear. My time is up, so I'm going to stop right here by saying we'll continue in the next episode, which will be the part 2. So as always, God bless and all the best to you. So this is your host again, Coolio, saying have a wonderful time.